Hey Good Life family, thank you so much for tuning in for today's 128 moment, and I want to share a little bit of where our Good Life journal is right now. Throughout this month of July, we're reading through the book of Proverbs, and today we were in Proverbs 9. And Proverbs is filled with ideas about wisdom. And there's a particular idea that I really want to hone in on today. So let me read some of the scripture and then we'll talk about it a little bit. It says this in verse 9. So this is Proverbs 9, verse 9. It says, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight." So here's the idea. Previously in this chapter, it talks about a scoffer or a foolish person. And the idea that's talked about in Proverbs 9 is that the foolish person has no ability to receive feedback or receive instruction. That it actually says that if you give them instruction, that if you reprove a scoffer, he will hate you. That whoever corrects a scoffer will get himself abused, that the person cannot handle it. And my question for us is, if a scoffer, if an unfaithful person that Proverbs is talking about is somebody who cannot receive instruction, who cannot receive correction, but instead lashes out, are you and I wise? When somebody comes to us with some feedback or some correction, are we able to receive that in a loving way? Are we able to actually separate from ourselves a little bit and acknowledge what the person is saying? Now, I wouldn't want us to just totally live life always being critiqued by other people and always just bearing the burden of other people's feedback. But I would say this, that I think part of a healthy church community should be spurring one another on towards the good works that Christ has called us to. And often what that means is that we can't simply be okay with allowing people that we love to remain in the same sins over and over again, or remain in the same place over and over again. I think about our worship team here, and one of the things that I feel like is my duty as a worship pastor at Good Life is to equip our worship team to be the best that they can be. So if you're a piano player, I want to say, hey, I'm a resource to you to see you be the best that you can be at playing piano. Now, the reality is part of that means that we're going to have to dig into some things that you're not all that good at. But in the long run, I think that's what makes us healthy. That's what makes us good, is the pain of growth. I think about working out. We all know this. When you go to the gym and you work out, to get your muscles bigger, to get your body stronger or in tone, you have to do some painful things. Working out isn't always a fun process, but it's through that we grow. And I would say the same thing as a church family. I think we have to be in a relationship with people in our life who can call us out. But then, as Proverbs 9 says, if we're going to be a person of wisdom, then we need to be okay receiving others' instruction. Not initially just being always defensive and pushing back, but a wise person is okay receiving it. It says, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will still be wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." So maybe if we're going to be wise, we could think a little bit less of ourselves, and it all starts by the fear of the Lord, acknowledging Him. So church family, that's how we can be wise, at least in Proverbs 9. And we're just hoping that right here in this room, as we gather on Sunday, 9:30 and 11, as well as online at 11, that as we gather as a church, we'll be a group of people that are spurring one another on to what Jesus has called us to do. So can't wait to see you then. Until then, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys Sunday.